Hello, spiritual seeker. This is Deepa Lou, and I'm the creative mystic. I ring this bell to awaken you to your divine presence within you. It's all about connecting with your higher self, that divine presence that's within us, outside of us, all around us, every single moment. And so today I was guided to talk with you about that feeling of stuckness. Now, if you're tuning in today to this episode, you're probably feeling stuck somewhere in your life. It might be in your personal life, or if you're a light worker or a healer or an entrepreneur in some way, you might be feeling stuck in your business. And Mother Mary came to me and really wanted me to talk about, these feelings of stuckness. And obviously, when you feel stuck, what else do you also feel usually? Is you feel unhappy, about the way your life is or your business is. And what people don't realize is that this stuckness, this unhappiness, is a sign that you need to wake up and be willing to do something new and different. It's actually divine presence, whatever you call your higher power, whether it's God, Buddha, Allah, it's divine presence communicating to you that it's time for you to go get some support to make these changes, support in being able to, see something different, have a different way of seeing something. Because Einstein has said, you can't solve a problem with the same mind that created the problem. And sort of to solve it, you have to have a different mind. And when he talks about different mind, he's talking about a different consciousness. So, Mother Mary wanted me to talk to you first about what actually keeps you feeling stuck, what creates this stuck feeling, because when you understand what's causing it more, you are just that knowledge alone is starting to shift your consciousness. So, the three main things that create this feeling of stuckness in your life is one, I talk about this a lot, but it's your paradigms, your beliefs that keep you looking at life in a certain way. That, and also that when I say look at life in a certain way, these beliefs and paradigms keep you only seeing certain options of solutions too, because you're seeing life through these certain set of lenses, like rose-colored glasses, or like when you think of the horse with the blinders on, they can only see what's between the two blinders. That's what your paradigms and beliefs uh, keep you stuck, because they keep you in this doing the same old thing, doing the same way of looking at a problem, the same way of trying to solve it, the same way of like just doing the same thing in your life. I often talk about if you get up every day and you're not doing, anything new and different, like you've done the same old thing day after day after day, that's a sign that you're contracting. We're either expanding or contracting. There is no standing still. And we're meant to expand. You're meant to expand. That's the way we're wired. You're meant to be growing. So our paradigms and beliefs need to actually be constantly shifting and changing for what's happening in our lives, in the world, with technology. I mean, one of the things about technology is it makes you clip. It's always changing. There's a new phone or a new technology where your computer or your phone gets outdated after a certain amount of years. And so we really need to step up if you want to understand about why you might be getting stuck. Is if you're not moving and shifting your consciousness to this next level of expansion, and technology is just one way you can see how there's continual change and continual growth. The smartphone does much more now than it did 10 years ago. The camera on it is like amazing. I have an iPhone 13 Pro, and the quality of the camera is just 10 times better, maybe 100 times better than the one on my original phone. So that is happening not just in technology, but in the realm of just growing spiritually, in the realm of growing your business, and the realm of living your life. Just think about your life, how so many things have changed, from how many years ago. I mean, you know, many families have two parents working because the cost of buying a house now is so much more. People are making different choices because it's like they don't want to be married to a house. So life is constantly changing. Our perspective, our beliefs are changing, but often you don't want to change. You get stuck in looking at life a certain way. And just like I said, that stuck looking at life a certain way, it's one of the reasons why you have a feeling of stuckness. That you've adopted these paradigms and beliefs and you haven't really examined them or gotten the support to help you examine them so that you can now have, a different mind, a different consciousness so you can solve, the areas of your life where you feel stuck to something new and different. So your paradigms and beliefs. We're not going to talk about solutions at this point, just what they are. So if you just start to think about, what paradigms and beliefs are kind of keeping me stuck in the past, or keeping me doing this thing the same old way, which is this really serving me anymore? And that's what you have to ask yourself. Is this really serving me in my growth, serving me in my, expansion to, creating that life you love, to stepping into your greatness and your holy calling of why you're on the planet? Because, we're all on this planet for a reason. The second thing about, what keeps you feeling stuck, your energy. Okay. When you're in the human body, you have a certain amount of energy to expand each day. Okay. Now, when you're self realized or enlightened and you're a master at it, then you may have infinite amounts of energy because we have access to that when the more enlightened we are, the more, self realized we are, we have more access. We're not so held by the body. But you have to admit where you are. I know I'm still held by the body in the sense of I still need sleep. I still feel like I have a certain amount of energy to expend. Now, I've learned to sometimes be able to overcome certain things, but what you have to look at is, okay, I have a certain amount of energy to expend each day. And you have to start to look at, am I utilizing that energy in creating what I desire, or am I letting my default mechanism of my subconscious mind dictate where my energy is going? So you might be thinking, okay, well, how do I know if it's my subconscious mind? So if you're just doing things out of habit, because your subconscious mind is where your paradigms and beliefs are stored, it's also where your emotional wounds are stored. And it's our default mechanism whenever you feel tired, stressed, hungry, you know, um, anxious, angry, frustrated. Our default mechanism comes up and we start to do things out of habit, out of emotional wounds or beliefs. We just do it out of habit. We're not really making a conscious choice at that time. And you've probably seen yourself, sometimes something happens and you react. Or, like some people say a button gets pushed or triggered. And then, you react and maybe you say or do something that you realize wasn't of the highest, or wasn't that choice wasn't made from a truth, but it was made from just a reaction that sometimes you can't explain. But you have a certain amount of energy, and that energy, you want to really start to utilize it for what you want to create in your life. And when you let your default mechanism keep dictating how you use your energy, that's when you feel stuck. Because what does your default mechanism, what does your subconscious mind do? It always picks the same thing. So your subconscious mind wants safety, security, sameness. But the thing is that when you keep doing safety, security, sameness, okay, in order to feel safe, what makes you feel safe? For the average person, what makes a person feel safe is doing something that they know, they're familiar with. They know what's going to happen. They know the next step. There's no unknown, okay? Security is, again, familiarity. People think, oh, and it's also programming. Like often people feel safe and secure in a job because they think, oh, this is a ongoing paycheck, and nothing's wrong if you have a job. I just want to let you know that I am not a believer that your job is a safe and secure thing that you've been programmed to believe it is, because when that company decides to lay off people, and if you're one of them, you get laid off, okay? When you're an entrepreneur and you actually learn how to actually manifest and grow your business and, attract your ideal clients, then that's the security of knowing that if something is going on, like if you need to make an adjustment, you can do that. My wife and I did that when the pandemic first hit. We lost some clients, we made adjustments, and then the year ended still with us being able to grow our business. Didn't grow as much as maybe we'd like to, but it still grew because we made the adjustments. We were able to, do some different things. And that's one of the beauties of being an entrepreneur and embracing and fully loving it, is that you know that you can make these adjustments and such to start to manifest the money, to start to step into your holy calling and have a business that is fulfilling you with your purpose of why you're here on the planet. Okay, so your energy, you have a certain amount, and if it's being dictated by your subconscious programming, you're going to feel stuck because you're going to keep doing the same things. You're going to just pick safety and security and do what you think you're going to say is logical, responsible, and that keeps you stuck. Okay. And then the third thing is lack of healing and forgiveness. Now, healing and forgiveness for me are almost one and the same. Okay. And you might thinking like, why is lack of forgiveness or healing going to keep me stuck? Why would that keep me stuck? And the lack of forgiveness, I'm going to focus on forgiveness right now. When you don't forgive somebody, it's taking up energy. See, you've probably heard before that, you don't forgive someone for them, you forgive them for yourself because it's only harming you when you don't forgive somebody. But what people don't understand is, how is it harming me? Okay. And one of the biggest ways it's harming you is that it's using up your energy. When you hold a resentment, when you don't forgive and you're like, this person did blah, blah, blah to me, and you just keep hanging on to it, that is using your precious energy that could be used for so many other things, for taking that next step, for expanding into your next level of consciousness, because it's important to utilize the energy you have for what you desire in your life, not holding resentments or not forgiving somebody. So forgiveness is really about freeing up your energy, so you can direct it towards what you truly desire in your life. Okay. Because do you really, like, when someone doesn't forgive, what do you feel? You usually feel resentful, hurt. Some people, when they really feel lack of forgiveness, they want to get back at somebody. They want to feel, vengeful. Is that a positive feeling that you want to keep feeling? It's not, right? If you're really honest with yourself, it makes you not feel good. It actually has been proven scientifically, medically, that these stress feelings and hateful feelings have negative effects on your heart and your ability to live a longer life, to go out and pursue the things that you desire. And so it's really is harming you, not just um, physically, but also energetically, emotionally, mentally, hanging on to that lack of forgiveness. So those are the three things that keep you stuck, because you're not forgiving, your energy is getting used up and you don't have the energy to move forward and get unstuck. See, because to get unstuck, what did I say you have to be willing to do? Something new and different. And it's a sign from divine presence, whatever your higher power is, telling you you need to get support. Why do you need to get support? Because you have a certain way of looking at life and you have a blind spot, which is yourself. You cannot see where your blind spot is. It's one of the things I love to do with my clients, is my spirit guide portals zero in on the blind spot they're having that's keeping them stuck, keeping them not being able to see a solution. Okay. And that prevents you from moving forward, from finding a new solution. Okay. Now, we're going to talk more about in another episode about forgiveness and some other things you can do to now how do you get unstuck. Okay. But today I'm going to give you just some little things you can do to help yourself. Now, one of them is put up positive motivational signs. There's different kinds. I put links to a few of them. One of them is something that that is one that I just think is great for women. And it says she remembered who she was and the game changed. Now, when I read that, remembering who you are is actually remembering your true self, your higher self, not some, you know, like you've forgotten who you are. It's we're all this spiritual being, and that's where true self is. And when we remember that we're this spiritual being, that we're this powerful being, then the game changes. So it's a great sign. I have a link down there. It's what it looks like. Okay. Now there's also another one that says every day is a new beginning. Take a deep breath and start again. And I love this because in the Buddhist philosophy, like every day is a new beginning. What matters most is what we do today. But the thing is about, can you take that new beginning? That deep breath centers you in more of your truth. Your breath and your mind are connected. And when you deep breathe, that calming the breath calms your mind. And you take each moment, you get to start again. So if you can at least do it one time in the day with this idea that you get to start again, you know, now these signs will help remind you. Okay. Now the third thing I have is you're going to maybe think this is silly. Maybe you don't want a motivational sign up or positive sign up, but it's the Post-it. Okay. Now I use Post-its. I get little downloads from Divine Mother, and sometimes I don't have time to like go out and shop for, a sign or the perfect one or put it up. But I have a Post-it that I can write something on, and I use different colored ones because if you put something up, and even like a motivational sign, sometimes it becomes part of just the way your home looks. And you walk by it and you don't really look at it. So the Post-its in different colors, when you can put them up maybe on your uh, bathroom mirror or on your altar, you can then have a little reminder of, yes, let me have like a new thought. Let me have expansive energy, expansive consciousness to make something different, to do something different, to help with my stuckness. All right. So I'd love to get your feedback. Like I said, we're going to talk some more about the solution on the next episode. I'm going to talk more about forgiveness because this is a really important one to free up your energy. All right. So remember, greatness is within you. It's time to let it out. Oh, and I wanted to say one last thing. If you're ready to get the support, you really want to like work with someone who can help mentor you and coach you, with working and applying the spiritual laws that are operating in our lives 24/7 and how to apply them so you can actually get unstuck and start to create that life you love and stepping into your holy calling. Feel free to take advantage of my gift of the next step connection call. Okay, that link is in the show notes below. All right. Blessings.